What's wrong?
I'm just checking that Ryan listened to me. I made it very clear I do not want him showing up here again.
Greenlee, I think maybe you're overestimating the impact that Madison's testimony had.
Liza wants the jury to think I'm still in love with Ryan. Don't look at me like that. I'm not going to help her case by having him sit behind me every day.
Good morning.
What are you doing here? I told you to stay away.
And I told you that I couldn't.
Leave. Now.
No.
Court is back in session. The defense will call its first witness.
I'm warning you.
Greenlee.
No, he shouldn't be here.
Excuse me, is there a problem, Mr. Montgomery?
No, Your Honor, no problem at all.
Yes, Your Honor, there is. I demand Ryan Lavery be removed from this courtroom immediately. Ryan Lavery does not belong here. I do not want him sitting behind me.
Sit down, Miss Hayward.
Your Honor.
That's enough, Greenlee. Sit, please. Now. Approach, Your Honor.
Good idea. Get your client under control, Mr. Montgomery.
My apologies, Your Honor. I had no idea she was going to do that.
Oh, lover spat.
Watch it.
My client seemed to be upset by Mr. Lavery's presence in the courtroom just as we were about to get underway. She asked him to leave, and he refused.
And one more outburst like that, she'll be sitting in a separate room with the video feed for the remainder of this trial.
I am a little concerned about his presence here. Do you suppose?
You know, if it's going to bring order back to this room, I'd be happy to oblige.
Thank you, Judge.
Bailiff?
Hey, okay. All right. Not cool. All right, I get it.
Did I tick off the judge?
Just a bit.
Madison,
Save it. I know you don't want me here, but I'm here, so let's just get past that. Why are you sitting out here?
Greenlee had me kicked out, so.
You don't sound too upset about it.
No, what are you gonna do?
But you knew she was... You wanted this to happen. Is that why you insisted on coming here alone today? What are you up to?
Call your next witness, Mr. Montgomery.
The defense calls Nick Pearson.
Pearson. Wait a minute, was he at the party?
I'm not sure.
We deposed him, didn't we? He had nothing relevant to say.
Pearson was at the hotel during the party, checked out that night. Didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, at least that's what he told us, right? Your Honor, permission to approach. Your Honor, according to the deposition that we took from the witness, he has nothing relevant. We have no idea what he could possibly testify about.
Maybe you would like Mr. Montgomery to give you his questions.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pearson was on the witness list. Perhaps you should have been more thorough with your preparations. Now sit down, Miss Colby.
What the hell is going on?
Who is that guy?
Like I said, trust me.
You weren't upset that Liza twisted my words, were you?
Let me explain.
And that's why Jackson didn't cross-examine me. He wanted the jury to believe that you and Greenlee were still in love.
Madison.
And you're going along with it. Acting like you can't stay away from Greenlee. And what, you'll keep coming back, keep convincing the jury that you want her, even if she claims to not want you? If the jury believes that...
Then I become the prime suspect.
This is insane.
Mr. Pearson, were you a guest at the yacht club the night that David Hayward was murdered?
Yes, I was staying at the hotel. I was in Pine Valley for business.
Did you attend the party on the terrace that night?
Actually, no. I was checking out while the party was still going on.
Did you see anything unusual as you were leaving the hotel?
I ran into a man in the hallway outside of my room. He was acting kind of strange.
Strange. How so?
He was dazed, disoriented. I thought he was probably drunk.
Did you say anything to him?
I asked him if he was okay.
Did he respond?
Yes. He said someone was going to die tonight.
Look, I wanted to fill you in about all this. I really did. But Jack and I wanted to keep it as quiet as possible so Liza wouldn't find out. I mean, Greenlee doesn't even know.
Is this really happening?
Look, I know how hard this is. This has all been, okay? And I hated putting you through this.
Then don't. Stop it right now.
Look, this is a really good plan. This is gonna work.
I can't believe you would throw yourself under the bus. Possibly leave Spike and Emma without a father for Greenlee?
That's not what I'm doing. That's not what's happening here. I'm just creating reasonable doubt. That's it.
And what happens when Greenlee gets off, huh? Liza's gonna want a conviction one way or the other. She will have you on trial before you can blink. And what happens then, Ryan, huh? Who throws himself under the bus for you? I need some air.
Your Honor, Mr. Pearson revealed none of this when we deposed him. The fact that he's coming forward now, it just smacks of a sneak attack by the defense, and it violates every rule of discovery.
I assure you, Mr. Pearson had a legitimate reason for not coming forward until now.
Yeah, because you wanted to blindside me.
No, actually, Counsel, this was recent news to me, too.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Your Honor just made the point that this witness has been on the list since the very beginning. More than ample time for the prosecution to have interviewed him, so I don't think the defense should be penalized because Miss Colby here didn't do her due diligence.
I'm with Mr. Montgomery on this one. Why don't you continue with your witness?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Pearson, the man you saw outside your hotel room, had you ever seen him before the night of the murder?
No, I haven't seen him since either.
Really? Take a look around if you would. Do you see him in this courtroom today?
No. The man I saw that night is definitely... That's him. That's the guy who said someone's going to die tonight.
Let the record show that the witness has identified Ryan Lavery as the man who said someone will die tonight, the night that David Hayward was murdered. Now, what time did you see Mr. Lavery in your hotel corridor?
Around 9 o'clock. My receipt says I checked out at 8:55. I saw him right after that.
This is the police report from that night. Would you please be so kind as to read the highlighted area to the court? It's the time of death of David Hayward.
It says 9:10 p.m.
So 10 minutes after Mr. Lavery said to you someone was going to die, David Hayward was murdered. Is that correct?
Looks that way.
Ms. Colby made an important point a minute ago, and I'd like to revisit it. This was pretty big news, Mr. Pearson. Why did you wait so long to come forward? You allowed my client here to be charged with murder. But who you saw, Ryan Lavery, where you saw him, the hotel where David Hayward died, when you saw him, just minutes before that death. And most importantly, what he said to you, that someone was going to die tonight. Now, isn't the only logical conclusion that Ryan Lavery killed David Hayward?
Objection! Your Honor, this is outrageous.
Objection sustained. Watch your step, counselor.
Why did you wait so long to come forward, Mr. Pearson? Let me remind you, you are under oath.
I'm a married man. The woman I was with in that hotel that night isn't my wife.
I see. It must have been difficult then for you to give this testimony today. The court thanks you, my client thanks you, and I thank you. I have no further questions.
You're up, Miss Colby.
Yeah, you know, I'm just finding this whole thing just a little too convenient. So you just happen to come back right now, right when the trial's starting, and you change your story. You just happen to run into a guy who declares that he is going to commit murder to you, total stranger. Really? You don't find that just a little bit odd?
That's what happened.
Wow, how wonderful for the defense. How you doing financially, Mr. Pearson?
Objection, relevance.
Miss Colby,
Oh, I'm getting there.
get there fast.
So you work for a hotel chain. Did the recession hit you hard?
Well, it hasn't been our best year.
If, let's say, a father whose daughter is on trial for murder, offered you a very large sum of money to give
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Did Mr. Montgomery ask you to lie?
No.
Did he threaten you?
No.
Oh, so there's another reason why you are insulting the intelligence of this jury by feeding them this garbage?
Look, this is the last place that I want to be. But I've got an obligation to tell the truth, and the jury's got a right to hear it.
No further questions.
We'll take a brief recess. When we return, the defense will call his next witness.
All rise.
You lied to me.
Greenlee. Green.